Cersei Lannister has been prophesied to be unalived by the Valonqar, or the Little Brother, which is exactly what a paranoid sociopath likes to hear. But who is the Valonqar? Is it one of the obvious choices? Is it someone else? Is it even a boy? Who the hell knows? We have lots of time to theorize, so let's go over the different theories. Okay, let's start off with the obvious choice, and the one that Cersei even thinks, which is Tyrion. Cersei has always thought that Tyrion is the Valonqar, probably because she cannot imagine a world in which Jaime, her other little brother, doesn't like her anymore and wants to, but what are you gonna do? So she thinks it's Tyrion, and honestly, I wouldn't be totally upset if it actually was Tyrion, because Cersei has given him lots and lots of reasons his entire life to want to, do the, so there you go. Up next, we have Jaime. Now, Jaime is a popular choice in the fandom because of the dramatic irony of it all. Her entire life, Cersei has gone, it's Tyrion, of course it's Tyrion, because he's a monster, and he took out my mother coming into the world, and now he wants to take out me, ooh, whatever. And Jaime is the love of my life. Jaime would never hurt me. Jaime's always here when I ask him to, because he's not very smart, and I'm very smart, and I have, manipulated him into always listening to me, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, if Jaime were to, turn around and be like, I get it. Good irony there. Now, if I were to put money on it, I think the safest bet is Jaime, for the aforementioned dramatic irony, and just because, narratively, I think it makes sense. Jaime, his great shame in life, not really a shame, but how society perceives it, is the kingslaying of it all. He took out the Mad King, and we have, in the books at least, Cersei very intentionally kind of starting to emulate the Mad King, her obsession with wildfire, and just all of the tortury, not fun stuff. And so I think it's a good closing of that loop. We start off Jaime's descent from grace with the slaying of the Mad King, and then he kind of makes up for it, taking out the next big threat, Cersei, the Mad Queen. Some people will argue that they don't think it's going to be Jaime because the prophecy for Maggie the Frog specifically says that the Valonqar, what is the phrasing? Choke the life out of you? Sorry, it says the Valonqar shall wrap his hands about your pale white throat and choke the life from you. Same death. But anyway, people think that, because it specifies that it's going to be a choking, Jaime, do we see the hand? We don't see the hand. Cool. He has a gold hand, so he's missing a hand, so the choking might be difficult, so they think it's not Jaime. I say, it's metaphors, Or maybe he finds another way to choke her. I don't know, man. The point is, it's probably Jaime, but let's talk about the others. Another popular choice is Tommen. Tommen is another one that I think would be very interesting, and again, ironic. Tommen is the youngest child of Cersei and Jaime. He is the little brother. And again, with the dramatic irony, Cersei, her whole life, thinking, of course, it's going to be Tyrion, the brother who is, in her mind, the stereotype of evil and unnatural and not good, because she's ableist. But oh no, it's one of her precious children that she doesn't actually super care about in the context of them being individuals, but only as extensions of her. And what if, that mistreatment and that disconnect comes back to bite her in the butt when Tommen goes all, you get it? This is a chaotic video. What's happening tonight? But yeah, maybe Cersei tries to make him eat his beets and he loses it and he's like, mom, no more, ooh. Tommen cannot abide beets. Next, we got a kind of a random one. We have the Hound. So Sandor Clegane is technically a little brother, because Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, is his older brother. And I think this theory plays into people hoping that Clegane Bowl will happen in the books. Clegane Bowl being, the two Cleganes going at it, which we got in the show in a very confusing and unsatisfying matter, but I won't go into that. But yeah, so if Robert Strong, who is, the reanimated Mountain most likely, is the reanimated Mountain, then maybe Sandor is I want to go take him out. And so he goes, because Cersei has to have her trial by combat still. Maybe, I don't know, actually, well, no, the show is the one that outlawed that. But in the context of the books, trial by combat is still a thing. So if that's happening, maybe Sandor is I'll be the other champion for the faith, because he's most likely the gravedigger right now, and probably, one of the Silent Brothers, and so he's gone a little religious light, I don't know. But yeah, so I think this is just a setup for Clegane Bowl in this theory, and then they fight each other, and then for some reason, after he has taken out his zombie brother, the Mountain, he then turns to Cersei and is choke. I don't know. Do with that information what you will. Up next, we have another kind of subversive popular choice in the fandom, and that's Rickon. Rickon Stark, the littlest brother who's probably turning feral off in the wilderness somewhere with his direwolf. It's fine, he's happier that way. So with this particular theory, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say that I think the majority of the people that subscribe to this theory are trying to, like, find a purpose for Rickon within the story. Because right now, we don't really know, like, where Rickon is, what Rickon's doing, what he will eventually do, etc., because he's off just in the wilderness somewhere, and Davos is going to go find him. And I think people, like, assume that he has like some kind of a role to play because there's that anecdote from early in the show where the showrunners thought that there were too many children, and so they wanted to take out Rickon because he was the youngest. They're like, it'll be cleaner if he's just not there. And George, like, tried to veto it. Well, he doesn't have veto power, but he he very strongly suggested, like, hey, don't do that. I have big plans for Rickon. And the showrunners, at least initially, were like, okay, cool. Eventually, they, took him out very unceremoniously with the zigzagging controversy of it all. So whatever George's plans were, they either didn't care, or they ignored it, or I don't know. But because of that initial statement and that anecdote coming out, a lot of people are like, okay, so Rickon has something to do with the story. There is a task that he's going to have. And because he's a little brother, we have to, like, throw him in the mix for Cersei as well. I wouldn't be mad. Like, sure, why not? Like, go feral child. Go take out that mean queen. Well, yeah. And then finally, of course, we have Arya. Now, Arya's proposal as being the Valonqar comes with an interpretation of the theory that because we know that some words in High Valyrian are gender neutral, perhaps Valonqar is as well. Now, we do not know this for certain. We do not have any more context to this. We do know that Maester Aemon says that there is a translation error in the Prince Who Was Promised prophecy because they like labeled the word prince as, like, gendered male, but it could be like either male or female. Now, we don't know that necessarily applies to Valonqar. We don't have additional information. I know people like to theorize and pontificate, be like, oh, for certain. You're wrong. You don't have more information than me. I'm sorry. But if we entertain that notion, then it doesn't have to necessarily be little brother. It could be little sibling, in which case Arya seems primely set up to, take out Cersei. Cersei is on Arya's list. Arya has been, training to do all the assassin stuff. It makes lots of sense. There's a very popular theory in the fandom, which I don't particularly care for, that, like, it is going to be Jaime who is, taking out Cersei, but it's actually Arya wearing Jaime's face. And ooh, I don't really like that because I think narratively it doesn't, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatevs, people like it. Now, once again, I think that most likely it's probably Jaime, but I think a lot of these possibilities are very fun. Please tell me what theories you want me to talk about next. Y'all are cool. Okay, goodbye.